Welcome to Module 11, key number 11, which is discipline and self-control. I'm Dr. Peter Rios, and I'm your instructor for this module. We are near the end, and you have made amazing progress. I hope that you are proud of yourself and that you are excited and that you are maximizing. Say it with me, maximizing. That's awesome. This is what Jim Rohn says about this topic. We must all suffer one of two things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret and disappointment. In other words, the choice is ours. We will have some pain if we want to live disciplined lives, but the pain is good for us because it's going to help us to reap the results that we want. Or if we live undisciplined lives, right, then we're going to live some pain, but it's going to be unwanted pain that you're going to regret having, and decisions that you've made, and the things that you could not achieve because you were undisciplined. So that's why we're here in this module. We want to develop those habits that will help us to live disciplined lives so that we can maximize our lives. My dad used to say it like this: you can play now and pay later, or you can play now and end up having to pay later. What he meant was that if I were to put in the work now, in the future I could play better. I would be, more comfortable. I would have the resources necessary. Many people, so do I, where they've lived all through their 20s and 30s, just partying and doing whatever they want. And now in the 40s and 50s, maybe even 60s, are struggling, are actually suffering the pain of regret and disappointment. So it doesn't matter where you find yourself in life right now and in this course. It's time to pivot. It's time to make a change. Is time to be transformed. Are you ready? So I shared with you, that in the previous module that I go to bed early so that I can get up early. This was me trying to establish new routines, trying to be disciplined at going to bed at a good time so that I could wake up at an early time so that I could do my spiritual disciplines. There's different types of disciplines, right? Time management, prayer for spiritual disciplines. I mix them up because it's all discipline to me, right? And so, early in the morning, I have a routine. I go to the gym. I'd walk for about 45 to 50 minutes. I then spend time in my sacred text. I reflect, I read, I journal, I write, right? And every day for years, I have done that. So that has helped me to be where I am today, to have well-being, to develop into the leader who I am today because of these disciplines. That's the invitation for you. Maybe you have some disciplines. If they're working, awesome, wonderful, keep doing them. But if you don't have any, we want to give you some strategies today to get some into your life. So let's define self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to focus on your goals and persist in your efforts towards them, despite temptations to abandon them. It's about self-control and the capacity to regulate your actions, thoughts, emotions to achieve long-term success. Basically, self-discipline is doing what you said you were going to do, even when you don't feel like it. Oh, I know it's so hard, right? You know how much discipline it takes for me to only eat one cookie? But I have learned that the cookies I like are fat. They're chocolate chip. They're about 140, 150 calories. Well, guess what? A half hour in the gym walking is 140 calories. I learned, if I'm going to eat a cookie, it's going to be one cookie, or even half a cookie, half a glass of milk. It's not going to be the whole thing. People are like, oh, I don't have discipline. I have to eat all the cookies. I have to eat 10 cookies. No, you don't. You can be disciplined. And I'm just using cookies and I'm using food, right? But maybe your weakness is something else, chocolate, or your temptation is something else. Discipline will help you to conquer this side of personal development and leadership so that you can maximize your life. So here are some benefits of being self-disciplined. First of all, we can achieve our goals, right? We have an enhancement of time management, right? You begin to be more aware because remember, we are self-reflectors, right? We have done assessment and self-reflection. And so now we understand time, the importance of time. And we have put time management principles in order. We have improved self-control. Nothing worse than seeing a 40 or 50-year-old acting like a 2 or 3-year-old. Have you ever seen somebody like that? Yeah, I know you have. Maybe you have somebody like that in your family. Maybe you are that person. I hope, hopefully not by, this module. You should be growing already. But I used to be like that. I used to throw a temper tantrum if I didn't get what I wanted. Well, guess what? When you begin to have discipline in your life and you begin to put order and structure in your routine, in your daily routine, building greater, healthier habits, you won't be doing those temper tantrums anymore. You will be a mature adult, a mature leader. And that's what this society needs. You also get to build self-confidence and greater decision-making skills, foster professional and personal growth, and enhance the quality of your work. Listen, if you become a better disciplined person, even if you're an entrepreneur like myself, right? I need discipline to make videos. I need discipline to write books. Writing books, they don't just fall out the sky. You got to have discipline writing, at least a page a day, right? By the way, you have a book in you, so we want you to write your book, right? If you write, check this out. If you were to write 1 page a day, which is not too difficult, at the end of the year, how many pages would you have? 300 and something pages, huh? That's a book. So let's get disciplined and let's start putting this into action. I have found that building new habits can help you in the journey of self-discipline. So let's think about how to build new habits. Number one, you need to start small, right? So if you're not a disciplined person, if you haven't had discipline, don't think you're going to just, overnight just become this overly disciplined Avengers. No, it's going to take some time. Be kind to yourself. It takes time, right? But you need to incorporate habits into your daily routine. This means integrating new habits into your existing daily routine. For example, if you're aiming to enhance your productivity, identify a time slot in your daily schedule where you can implement a productivity technique like the Pomodoro technique without disrupting your current workflow. Consistency and timing helps to reinforce the habit. Now, I use the Pomodoro example, if I'm saying that word correctly, but there are other techniques, right? You can just Google time management techniques and a ton of them will come up. You need to set SMART goals, right? SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART goals where you can actually measure them and actually achieve them, okay? Use reminders and triggers. Reminders can play a significant role in building new habits. Use alarms, notes, use sticky notes. I have sticky notes everywhere. Or apps to remind you to perform a new habit until it becomes second nature. Man, this is a great nugget. I hope you get that. Track your progress. When you track your progress, you're going to see how you're doing, where you can be better, where you've achieved, where you have done maybe even better than what you thought. And guess what? Eat that cookie. Reward yourself, right? That's what I do. I reward myself when I have been disciplined all week going to the gym. And the weekend I'll go and have a nice meal or do something with my wife because, a bowl of a gelato. I like gelato ice cream, right? So I'll have a little cup of that. Okay, so you have to reward yourself because you have to rewire your brain to like a life of discipline. And lastly, be patient and flexible with yourself. This is so hard because especially if you live in the United States, you want it now, right? We live in a microwave generation. I want that like yesterday. Well, guess what? Discipline, right, takes time. So be kind to yourself. Love yourself. You are doing great. Say those affirming words in the mirror if you have to. I go into the mirror and I'm looking at you right now and I tell myself, you are awesome. You're going to make an impact. You're making a big difference. Keep going, Peter. You see, I do that. You can do the same, but be kind to yourself. And lastly, make sure you seek support in this journey of discipline. You cannot do it by yourself. I have accountability partners. I'm in a health group right now. It's a 16-week class, right? We meet once a week to talk about health. I need to be around these people because that's not like the thing that's on my mind all the time. So I need that reminder, the reinforcements, right? And also the accountability groups, hearing what other people are doing. That helps me, that blesses me. And my stories, my testimony, what I'm doing helps them. So get a community of support for whatever disciplines you are trying to create. In conclusion, my friends, discipline is not about restrictions or limitations. You're like, what? Yes, it is. I could hear you right now. I know some of us think like that, but it's not. It's about freedom. Yes, say that with me, freedom. It frees individuals and organizations from the constraints of poor habits. Remember that fixed thinking, that fishbowl thinking? We're in growth mindset, baby. So when you have discipline, you are operating in your growth mindset, right? So in conclusion, discipline is not about restrictions or limitations. It's about freedom. Woo, I love it. It frees individuals and organizations from the constraints of poor habits, disorganization, and short-term thinking, allowing them to achieve their full potential. Remember that fishbowl thinking, that limited thinking, that fixed mindset? Well, when you're disciplined and when you're operating in that life of discipline, you are moving in a growth mindset. Hey, it's time to maximize your life. I hope you are learning something. I know I am. Remember to go to your map, Master Action Plan, and I'll see you in the next module.